What do you got? Oh.
Come on. I'm ready.
Yo.
Not drink it, you stupid. Fuck you. Fuck you, Chinese. Fuck you. I love Korea, and everything that I did in Japan was for the Korean and the Chinese people.
Such actions have infuriated many Koreans because the statue symbolizes all women, including girls who were forced into sexual slavery by the Japanese military during World War II.
Welcome back, viewers. Dave Epstein from the Post Pollock firm. Today we're going to be talking about, well, somebody and something. Johnny Somali. Remember him? Everybody's favorite guy. Well, unless you ask everybody in Korea, Japan, and pretty much everywhere else he goes. And generally speaking, what is going on in other countries where those countries are fighting back? They are trying to stop this nonsense. Now, we start with Mr. Somali. You've seen a prior video where we showed him getting punched. We showed him harassing people. He is a scourge in South Korea. They are not fans of his. He's a scourge in Japan. So what's been happening in South Korea? Well, the South Korean authorities said enough's enough. People reported him, for example, for a disturbance he caused in a convenience store. You can find the video online, I'm sure.
I did not drink it, you stupid. Fuck you. Fuck you, Chinese. Fuck you.
That in South Korea can lead to up to 5 years in jail and up to $11,000 in fines. And apparently there are multiple counts, if I'm not mistaken, including creating a disturbance in a public place. There is also an incident where Johnny Somali, whose real name is, Ramzi Khalid Ismail, made a deep fake image. For those of you who don't know, that's where you basically, using AI and modern technology, you impose somebody's face and likeness into a video or a picture. And this was a deep fake of a fairly popular streamer from Korea named, I think she goes by Bong Bong. He put her with him making out next to a lake. She reported this to the authorities, and it's evidently a crime or potentially a crime in Korea, and they're investigating. And apparently, once it gets going, they continue to investigate, and I think the South Korean authorities are more than happy to continue investigating. There's another incident where a woman was being abused, according to her, by Mr. Somali. Now, I'm not sure of all the particulars of it, but let's put it this way. You watch his videos. You watch how outrageous and arrogant he is. He makes racist comments. He apparently made a big stink with a war memorial in South Korea where he was filmed. He got himself kissing it. And it is a monument to the South Koreans who were sold into sexual slavery by the Japanese during World War II. And of course, Johnny Somali finds that a good thing to make fun of. He apparently later apologized, but it did not go over well with the Koreans. He was recently, I think he is being investigated for playing North Korean propaganda in a public place, which under South Korea's security laws, I believe it's a security. Let me see here. It's the National Security Act of South Korea. He could face 7 years. There is also an investigation into an assault by Mr. Somali, I believe in Korea. Now, right now, is he under arrest? No. What they do in South Korea is they issued a travel ban. That means he can't travel out. Some countries probably are going to ban him from coming in, but he's not allowed to leave South Korea now, so he's stuck there. So you have this whole host of charges against this man. And South Korea is going after him, and I don't blame them. So this yuck, 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 laugh, 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 isn't this funny thing is getting to be not funny anymore for Mr. Somali. In fact, he could end up doing some time in South Korea. I don't know how they work with cutting deals or what they do as far as plea agreements. I just don't know. I don't even want to think what a South Korean jail is like. I can say this, their laws may be different. For example, I don't know about obstruction of a business as a crime in the U.S., but we do have vandalism. We have creating a public nuisance. We have all sorts of our own laws that protect people from this. And I know that Korea in general is trying to crack down on this and stop streamers who are engaging in these pranks where they humiliate people, they instigate violence, they instigate shame, humiliation, the whole works. That's what this is all about. It's because there's apparently enough people out there who think it's funny to humiliate somebody, to hurt them, or to provoke them into attacking you. That's the community there. So the rest of the world wants to fight back. And as I said, I'm going to get to how can we fight back. In Japan, they are actually posting on subways these images that say no videotaping, no pranking, something to that effect. And the authorities are also there using Japanese laws to really crack down on these guys or girls who go ahead and force people to become the pawns in their stupid ploys. And Japan is fighting back. And the citizens are fighting back. Now, with that in mind, I've been asked many times, well, what do we do? Well, we've talked about. First of all, what you don't do is belt the person, hit them with your shillelagh. Don't do anything like that. Much as many of us might want to see you do it, you're going to end up in jail. You'll end up in trouble yourself. When you're the victim of this, if it's harassment, whatever, call the police. Call your lawyer. Chase him down. You may find out that yo-yo who is trying to ruin your day or ruin your date or ruin your dinner or ruin something, your child's game, is making a load of money from this stuff. And you get a lawyer involved and let him know this guy is a big name. He's got a big presence on YouTube or TikTok or somewhere, Instagram, and he is using me, or he's going to use my image to humiliate me and aggrandize his own interests. Lawyers may get involved. They might be interested in that. The other thing that can be done, and I've alluded to this many times in my videos, is that businesses can really start cracking down. As I've mentioned, if you go to the corporate site for Walmart and other corporations, they say there that there is a policy that you're not allowed to videotape while you're in the stores. What I would suggest is they put big, giant posters in saying you are not allowed to videotape our guests, you're not allowed to videotape our employees. We will consider you a trespasser if you do, and you will be arrested immediately upon being found out. They could even say we do not allow people to commit pranks or humiliate our other guests, something along those lines. I'd have to see how you would word that. And if you are not following their rules, you are, and you remain in the store, you are a trespasser. That is a very strong discouragement to these clowns. Because if you look at this, most of these videos, or many of them, are in stores, in malls, privately owned property. Governmental entities can get involved too. And this issue has been raised by the pranksters and their supporters. It's a First Amendment right. A First Amendment right, what does that mean? What are they exercising the right to free speech? Well, a person has the right to be left alone. Now, what you'll hear pranksters say is, well, there's no expectation of privacy when you're in public. Yes and no. I don't expect that, listen, if I'm walking down the street, if I do something on my own, that causes me to look like a yo-yo and somebody happens to be filming it and I'm in public, too bad for me. But where somebody comes up and draws me in by harassment or other means and forces me into their stupid video, then I think I have the right to object. And I have a right not to be abused, not to be humiliated, and not to be treated like a pawn in one of these stupid videos. What else? Well, when you get placed in one of these videos, 99% of the time, I'm sure, they do not get what is known as a photo release. And they are putting these videos on YouTube. These, in most cases, they're doing it to make money. There's a ton of money to be made in this. If they get enough followers, they get advertisers, the whole works. So how are they supposed to compensate you? You can't use somebody's likeness for profit without having their consent, getting a release, paying them. So what you can do is, again, contact a lawyer and let that lawyer know what happened. Again, if it's a big name, it won't take your lawyer long to track down who they are. And then wait and see if they've put up a video. They probably put it up right away. Have your lawyer go after them. Sue them. Sue them for misappropriation of your likeness. I don't do intellectual property law, but there are tons of lawyers who do, and they're all, the ones I know are very good. And they can guide you on what your rights are, what federal or state statutes are out there that protect your likeness, and that allow you to seek compensation when somebody steals your likeness, because that's what it is. What else can be done? Private citizens, here's the simplest solution. Don't watch it. Don't give them the views. Don't give them the likes. Don't subscribe. And to the extent that many of these pranksters seem to have as their largest following young kids or young adults, mostly young kids, parents, be vigilant. I mean, we've been hearing for years about you should know what your child's doing online. You should know what your child, oh my God, they could be visiting smut sites or whatever they're doing. Well, you should also know, he's just on YouTube. She's just watching YouTube. It's a YouTube channel. Well, if you haven't gotten the news flash, YouTube isn't always so innocent. I'm not faulting YouTube. It's not YouTube's fault. They air what people want to put out. But you as a parent can stop your kids from watching this, and you sit them down and say, if you behave this way or you support this, this is exactly the wrong kind of person I want you to be. And it's the wrong kind of person you want you to be. You may be too young now to understand that. So I think what is going on in Japan and Korea, and I expect that there will be other countries that do this, there will be a push to stop this nonsense. Other countries have different laws. I'll confess, I have not checked in Japan or Korea or any other country where they may be cracking down as to whether they bestow the same constitutional rights that our country does. The big one being free speech, the First Amendment right of, they call it freedom of the press. I've always struggled with that because I don't know how you could call this the press. It's some clown who wants to embarrass people or humiliate people and make money off of it. But I don't know what they have. And I would not want our country to disregard the Constitution. But we can, within the realm, the ambits of the Constitution, work to prevent this. And we do have a recognized right of privacy in this country. And I think somebody may take a courageous judge to come out and say, this is an area to which that right extends. I know you're in public, but part of your right to privacy extends to not being drawn into things where other people seek you out to make you a pawn in a humiliating little game. So, folks, do what you can. Talk to your lawmakers to see what they can do. And make sure that if it happens to you, you take the appropriate steps and you let people know, especially the people doing these pranks, that you're not going to take it. Thanks for watching. I hope this was helpful. I hope you hit like, and I hope you subscribe. And please leave your comments. I read them. I reply to them. Great to have you. See you next time.